Alright, this is Travis Wayne Goodsell, and early in the morning on the 2nd of March. Yesterday was the celebration of St. David's Day, and so that's an interesting thing. St. David, Tawut. If you're not watching my videos, you're not going to make the connections. So, now, 18th dynasty. That's when King David was around. Alright, let's see here. We need to minimize this. We're going to do a comment replies, yeah. So, yes, as I have proved yet again, YouTube is set up in the same manner that Russia was able to trick America, and especially Mormons here in Utah, to vote for Trump. It's a manner of identifying the data that you search for. I don't have access to your computers, so I don't have the data information, so I have to keep guessing as to what will trigger the most views. And as a result, a video every now and then will trigger that. But the Cambridge Analytica data that was given to Russia and then Russia used against America, and you can see it on YouTube, you can see it on Facebook. This is how they do it. They take your search history, they take your own personal data, and they blend it all together and create media advertisements to string you along into a path of deception and lies. In my case, however, I'm stringing you along on a path of truth and and freedom. Though Mormons will refuse to believe because they refuse to pursue truth and freedom. They'd rather be in bondage and lies of darkness. And so, nothing I can do with somebody who is stubborn and refuses to search for truth. So yeah, the LDS Mormon Church finds ancient records at Adam-on-Diamond, Missouri. That was the trigger for Mormons. 180 so far in 12 hours. It surpassed the BYU police holding back records of rape victims. And so, yeah, this is of more of an interest to Mormons than Mormons involved in sex cover-ups. Because even the bishop who got busted for sex trafficking, that was a hit for a period of time, and then it died and tapered off. And where are we at now with it? Yeah, we're still stuck at 267. It's been like that for days. Everybody's lost interest now. It reached its peak of 267, and now nobody cares. And Joseph Smith the LDS Church lies about polygamy. The first one's it's increasing still, but it's very slow. And but yeah, the Adam-on-Diamond plates found or records found is what triggers Mormons. And so yeah, when Nelson did the temple changes, that's been a huge hit. Those are over 1300. No, yeah, 1300. Or no, it's over 3,000, isn't it? Yeah. Those are old. Just happened the other month. And so, at the beginning of the year, I guess. But yeah, it's clear Mormons want to know about new additional scripture, and that's the sad part, is that Mormons want this. They want new scripture. They want the presidents of their church to be able to find these documents and translate them and prove to the world once and for all that the church is true and that God is the true God of the Mormons, and that the South Park episode where everybody goes to hell and they're wondering, well, who is the true church then if all of the religions are wrong? It's the Mormons. The Mormons are the true church. And Mormons are cheering for that one scene in that South Park stuff. The rest of the South Park they don't care about. And they don't care about the Book of Mormon play because, there are people who are gay. I haven't seen the play myself yet. I'm just aware of it. I read the Cliff Notes. So, yeah. But this is exactly how Russia fooled all of you guys. They found the data of what you search for. And so, yes, Mormons are my target audience. I don't get as many views for government stuff on YouTube. Nobody cares about my views on it. And nobody cares about my life. And nobody cares about other stuff I've done. And they've been slow in coming, but hold on a second. I'll be right back. Alright, I've been up since 1, and I was able to put up the first page translation of the breastplates. Again, purposely designed to try to get the most number of viewers, and already within 19 minutes we've got 2 who are up at 3 in the morning. Maybe they're on the East Coast where it would be 5 in the morning. And so, yeah, up since 1. And I noticed outside there's a light spray of snow, so I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to run, depending on how slickery it is. Slip, slip, slickery. So, my video about the church connection with Russia, with Mitt Romney being the pivotal link, that's not doing as well as it needs to, guys. It's doing okay, but it needs to keep going. Can't die out like the LDS bishop sex pervert. Because that's crucial for understanding Mormons. All Mormons need to see that video. Period. Exclamation point. No question, just exclamation point. So, 180, that's so awesome. 12 hours. Alright, so let's get to the, oh man, got 16, although there was a new person that I saw, so 15 I guess. Oh man. Yay! I'm finally getting my money. Okay. Oh man. So it may not be today, it may be 3 to 5 days, but at least I'm getting my royalties processed finally. Good deal. Alrighty, so let's have a look. Wow, awesome. Okay. We'll save that for my records and archive the thing. What's this? Oh, okay. Then statement. Okay. And thus I can archive that. So I'm excited. I believe Creed 2 is coming out on Tuesday. That should be awesome. Creed 2 DVD. Okay, is Creed 2 on March 5th? Yeah, sure enough. So Tuesday. Alrighty. Come on. Okay, the new person is Vanessa Medina. So welcome, Vanessa. Colin Peterson commented on explanation why LDS Mormon Church wants me dead and gone. Canadian? Oh, that's right. I remember that, and I responded. He's got, I guess, Batman in a purplish ink tone. So, yeah, I had to explain to him that no, you got to watch all the other videos, Colin. We're born and raised in America, born in Berkeley, Alameda County, California hospital, and lived in Oakland. So I tried to see which hospitals would have been around back in 1970, and I couldn't get an answer from a Google search. So it seems strange that with all the hospitals that are now in existence, you would think that if all of them were still around back in 1970, that my parents would have chosen another one that was closer. So I'm assuming then that there weren't as many back then, and that was the closest choice. Or it could have been that my mom was at the Berkeley campus with my dad, and when her water broke. So who knows? Alright, so we have another one? No. Let's carry on, because this is going to be a long one, I guess. So MD will love it. Oh, makes sense. Okay. That's one of the videos that have my key to translation decipherment theory. Or it's not a theory, I've actually established the translation with this key. Ra, the flag and the sun symbol, corresponding with the Paleo Hebrew. That was the decipherment key, the key of the priesthood, as Joseph Smith referred to it. And so Colin Peterson is saying, oh, makes sense. So I'm not sure which one, because I had it on 2 videos. Okay, Jennifer Flower, a favorite. LDS Mormons need a different kind of strong. I started talking about Daniel near the end of the video, and that's why I got the idea for the title. and it's not doing well because nobody looks for him in the search on YouTube. But I have subscribers who pay attention to all my videos and share with me their thoughts and feelings in life, and Jennifer is one of them. Yes, that's what it means. You sent me gangsta music videos for your comment. Yeah, it refers to a previous video. And Jennifer commented, I think it was on the one with the thumbnail picture of the little boy in a tuxedo, and he's saying, "You send the pigs on me, I sick the wolves on you," something like that. And so she commented something like, "Oh, way to go, gangster," on these hater Mormons, and so I I replied to her with gangster music. The one from Open's Office Space, the movie, and the other movie, I can't remember her name, but it's got Coolio also in it, and he sings the song and doing the scene from the movie. Gangster's Paradise. I am hilarious. Alrighty. Sand 900. I hate the LDS Church. Last day of February, LDS Mormon comment replies. Again, showing Donald Trump's signature as a symbol, Mormons. That's evidence of Trump's corruption as president. He needs to be removed. There's no doubt about it. You know, this isn't lying about a blowjob. This is corruption. This is crime. This is fraud. This is conspiracy against the United States. And nobody is taking out Trump. It's unbelievable that the Republicans would just cower to him and defend Trump at the expense of their lives and the party. The party is crashing. Trump has split the party and has destroyed it. And Republicans just keep going and going and going. Sand 900, you are trying to pull a Stephen on me. He's now saying I should bring up David O. McKay supporting Jim Crow laws in the South. Yeah, there's another thing that a video that I wanted to do. Yeah, here it is. The Equal Rights Amendment. Back in the 70s when I was born, people were pushing for equal rights for women. The ERA, Equal Rights Amendment. And I didn't realize that it wasn't what resulted in the two amendments for women to have the right to vote and blacks to not be slaves. I thought that was the equal rights part. And then there's that, the amendment that said everybody must be treated equally throughout the various states. The 21st Amendment, I believe. And so I didn't realize that there was actually an Equal Rights Amendment itself. And it passed both houses of Congress, the House and the Senate. And the president signed it. And the sufficient amount of states ratified it. It was going in the amendments. Women were going to be equal with men. But then guess what happened? Mormon women rose up because the prophets of the church rose up and said, no, we cannot allow women to be equal. The church stopped the Equal Rights Amendment for women. Mormon women, do you not understand this? This is horrific. And I've got the video. I did, it's no sound. I just went to the ERA webpage and went down, it shows all of the states that ratified it and those who didn't, and who to contact to get it going again, because they're pushing for it. I saw a news article the other day on that, that people were wanting to bring it up, or maybe it was an advertisement. But, oh my God, the leaders of the church suppressed women, not just in the church, as they've been doing, but through the whole nation. They imposed Mormon morality on the nation. The church destroyed the governmental process. Wow. I can't believe Mormon women pushed for that. And I can remember my mom, my alt-right Mormon white supremacist mother, talking about how the ERA was an evil, parroting the prophets who would get up at conference and warn, don't vote for it, don't allow it, it'll destroy women. No, it would equal them in society. And the arguments that the Mormon church had made no sense, because, you know, they were trying to say, well, then housewives would be screwed over. No, they wouldn't. They're equal. Which means that if a divorce occurs, the woman is not stranded. She can go out and get a job that will take care of her. She will be equal in society. And it just blew my mind. And also another one. This was weird, because it said, oh, women would no longer qualify for alimony because they're equal. Yeah, exactly. Why should the man have to pay and the woman not pay? If they're equal, nobody should pay. Now, fortunately, my first ex didn't demand alimony, just child support. But again, equality in divorce means that the man also has equal access and rights to the children. Unbelievable. The church set it up for my first wife to screw me. Unbelievable. So yeah, that was an eye-opener yesterday. And so I want to do that video. But this is a comment video. But beware, Mormons. Your church is the most pure evil of ever on earth. Unbelievable. So Mansand, if I keep finding you, I'm gonna have to ban you like I did Stephen. He would not listen. And I know you're listening to the comment replies, because there you are, commenting on the comment replies video. So beware, Mansand 900. If you wanna bring up David O. McKay supporting Jim Crow laws in the South, use your channel to do so. Don't tell me how to run my channel. And I'm sure it would be a shocking thing to find out what he's done in supporting Jim Crow laws, but I've already done the racist videos. I know the church is racist. So, but man, the sexism of the church just goes beyond. And it just boggles the mind why Mormon women think they're free. You're not free. You're trapped in slavery, and you know no better way out. That's the one thing that people don't get. When you're born in slavery and you don't know what it's like to be free, you don't know that you need to rise up against your masters. That's what the white men have been hoping with blacks. You know, and for the most part, yeah, they had them suppressed so that they didn't rise up. But then blacks started to get a taste of freedom in the new land. And they loved it. And they wanted it. And they rose up. And then it took until the 1960s for the civil rights movement to finally get it in an amendment But and then still they're still suppressed. But at least now blacks know of freedom. They know of what to fight for, and there are women too who know what to fight for. And there are women, because ordained women, they know freedom and they want it. They want equality, and the church won't let them have it. So ordained women, they know about the sexism of the leaders of the church. But hardcore women like my mother, they don't want it. They don't know what it's like to be free. Even though my mom was contentious with my dad over wanting her will imposed on the family. She wasn't able to make that connection. Okay, Colin Peterson replying to the church Mitt Romney Putin connection. I get to watch this video early because there was a gas leak at my work. Oh my God. That's not good. I hope you're okay. Probably got called so that you didn't get to go to work. So yeah, that leads to explosions, Colin. Alright. So Frank Lucas on quid pro quo with Russia and the church. That's not in operation anymore. Hasn't been for some time, probably about 4 to 6 years. Are you referring to the Ukrainian temple, Frank? You're missing the point of the video. Because the thumbnail has Trump Tower in New York and the Ukrainian temple. The purpose wasn't on Trump Tower in New York, and it wasn't on the Ukrainian temple, regardless of whether it's out of operation for 4 to 6 years. The video was about how Russia operates. And I'm pretty sure that's not what you're referring to. Come on, guys, don't be dumb. Listen. You know, the video has words. I speak. Therefore I am. Oh, man, Sand. Now you're Book of Mormon splaining to me. And it's irrelevant. I'm talking about the Amun priesthood of the Egyptians, which is what Jesus calls their God. Man, Sand. One more and I'm going to have to say goodbye, and here it is. Oh, Amun priesthood key again. They believe that God had sex with the Virgin Mary to produce the Mormon version of Jesus. Yeah. Okay. And? Is that a question, or is that a Mormon-splaining to me on my channel? Okay, well, since you've identified yourself as not a member of the church, allow me to reply with the Mormon scripture of it. Oh, HEM preacher. Okay, I'll get back to yours in just a second here. Let me Mormon-splain back to Mansan 900. Oh, did he delete it? Didn't pop down. Huh. Sure enough, he deleted it and put something else in here. When Rabbi Jonathan Cohen mentions Baal, he's talking about a god that has ties to the Islamic faith. I don't care. What did that have to do with anything? Yes, I mentioned that the Jews follow the Babylonian traditions. The older Jews, not the more recent Jews after Islam created. I'm talking about before Islam was created. Man, Sand, you're frustrating to me. And so I guess I don't get to respond with the Book of Mormon scriptures because you deleted them. Or YouTube is causing frustrations. Alright, so let's get to the HEM preacher, because his was there. James Elijah. Okay. Greetings, shalom from Sydney, Australia. I have come to understand that the Rosetta Stone was written in 3 parts: Egyptian, Koine, Greek, and Ancient Macedonian. No, not Macedonian, unless you're referring, well, no. Egyptian hieroglyphic, Egyptian hieratic, and Koine Greek. Not Macedonian, which Koine is actually Ancient Macedonian and not Greek. Well, so you just contradicted yourself, or you messed up. So yeah, Egyptian hieratic, Egyptian hieroglyphic, and Koine Greek, or Macedonian. Anyway, food for thought. No, don't mansplain ancient translation to me, as there is a lot of disinformation regards Macedonia, you mean regarding, and the falsification of Greece and her history has been elusive and much fabricated. I wasn't talking about Greece. What are you saying? Stay on topic, guys. If you want to present your own thoughts and feelings, you have your own channel. Do it there. And you seem like you have some interesting things to say, if you would say them. Yeah, YouTube may actually say, hey, you might be interested in this. And I'll see it and I'll go, yeah, I might be interested in this. But don't do it on my video channel. You have your own. The Second Balkan Wars and the annex and repartition of Macedonia. Yeah, my God. What is wrong with you people? I took a class when I was taking it was actually at the University of Utah, not Lethbridge, because it was a professor of Greek who's the foremost expert in ancient Greek, and he came and gave a class lesson by invitation of our teacher of the Greek class, Greek history class, and he was able to summarize Greek history for us in that one class period. So unless you're saying that he's wrong, the foremost expert on Greek history, you know, there is much that I can write on this. Yeah, on your own channel. Although I am not sure if you want to go down that rabbit hole. No, I don't on my channel. Do it on your channel. Because it is very deep, filled with much distortion, lies, I don't care. This is my first comment to you, and it certainly may be the last if you keep doing this kind of thing. So now he's kissing my butt to make sure that his post stays on my channel. And I'll leave it there. This is your first time. But I'm telling you in this video, if you pull stunts like Steven and Mansan 900, who's on the last straw, I'm going to have to delete you. Use your own channel. That's what you have it for. And you apparently can do stuff because you've got a picture quote. I can't read it because it's way too small, but I'm sure it has something to do with your hem preacher James Elijah status. Alright, oh, you got a GIF on your picture, because they don't let me do GIFs on the thumbnails. How did you get a GIF for your picture? Alright, clarity asterisk 11, which I'm not really sure what that has to do. So reminds me of the other day when we all looked together at what the number 1488 means. And I had to immediately ban that guy from my channel. Changes have come too late. They needed to make changes many years ago. Yeah. Yeah. Very observant clarity. LDS Mormon Church covering up imminent collapse was the video. And Clarity is now again commenting, I think the building of temples in spite of membership losses is about tax-free real estate holdings for the church. Yes, and in another video I discussed that. It's a real estate scam. That's what Trump is involved in. That's why I did the picture thumbnail of Trump Tower in New York and the Ukrainian temple. It's all about real estate profits. And Trump got exposed by Cohen in the testimony Wednesday about how Trump inflates the value of his real estate holdings in order to commit tax fraud and insurance fraud. Yes, that's what the church is doing too, because it inflates the values of people's homes around the temple. So Mormons love having a temple in their area. But it's always in rich neighborhoods. Alright, Cambria Anderson. Okay, the first comment for my specifically worded title that is kicking butt so far. LDS Mormon Church finds ancient records at Adamondiam in Missouri. And apparently Cambria Anderson, I think, is a first-time commenter. Do you have peer-reviewed papers to back your claims of translations? Cambria, you have fallen prey to the trap that people in fields of science or any field of study you fell for it. And so I'll have to reply here, because Cambria does not understand. You always go to primary sources. It doesn't matter about the opinions and beliefs and feelings of others, even though they may be in a position of authority in the field you're discussing. It doesn't matter. They are second-hand sources. It doesn't matter. You, Cambria, can check for yourself. You don't need to get a tally of thumbs up or thumbs down to determine truth. Because that's what you're doing. That's the trap. See, Egyptologists have set this up especially. You cannot put forth a book or a publication on any work involving Egyptology. They will not accept it, because the first thing they do is ask, Well, where did he get his PhD? They don't care about the contents of your presentation, your paper, until they first establish that you're one of them. You're in the clique. Then once you're in the clique, they know that they can trust your paper and then will peer review it positively because you will conform to their thinking, their beliefs, their system. Hold on a second. So Cambria, I'll comment as I talk here. And 3 people have already given thumbs up. Oh, and then she goes on, also, you seem patronizing. She is attacking me. And I would like to. Yeah, you're trying to silence me, Cambria. And so this is going to be removed. You can't say such things on my channel. And I'm expecting to delete you after I make this comment. Okay. I have deleted your other hateful comment that tried to silence me, as this comment is attempting to do. You have fallen prey to the scholarly fields elitism. Egyptology especially don't want anyone outshining them, so they require that anyone doing a paper in their field be first recognized as a PhD from an approved school, which means they can trust the paper to conform to their narrow thinking. Notice I disclosed that I made decipherment discoveries that Egyptologists have not made, despite all these decades. Always, in all caps, go to primary sources to confirm truth. Do not rely on second and sources such as Egyptologists. This was how I deciphered Paleo Hebrew as well. For Hebraeus, all follow William Foxwell Albright and conform their papers to that line of thinking, and thus none of them have ever discovered the origins of the alphabet as I have. I suspect you are Mormon because of your manner of speaking like a BYU apologist. So you need to understand that it is those unsound defenders who follow this practice and have written the gospel topic essay on the book of Abraham to declare on behalf of the LDS Church that Joseph Smith is not a translator and made it all up. Is that really how you want to tell others about Joseph Smith? 3 question marks. I suspect you are Mormon. Alrighty. And Anderson is a typical Mormon name anyway, so that also confirms that she's most likely a Mormon. Alrighty. So do I need to mansplain her or anything else? It's not mansplaining, it's Egyptology-splaining. Egyptologists especially don't want anyone outshining them. Egyptologists especially don't want anyone outshining them, so they require that anyone doing a paper in their field must first be recognized as a PhD from an approved school, which means they can trust the paper to conform to their narrow thinking. Notice I disclosed that I made decipherment discoveries that Egyptologists have not made despite all these decades. The fact that glyph signs are not in gardeners and others sign listings is evidence of that. Always go to primary sources to confirm truth. Do not rely on secondhand sources such as Egyptologists. This is how I deciphered Paleo-Hebrew as well. For Hebraists, all follow William Foxwell Albright and conform their papers to the line of thinking, to that line of thinking. That line of thinking. And thus none of them have ever discovered the origins of the alphabet as I have. Believing instead that the origins are proto-Sinaitic. It's kind of hard when Google doesn't recognize the spelling of Egyptologists as well as Sinaitic, and so that causes me to wonder, am I spelling it right? Yep, I'm spelling it right. So YouTube does not recognize that as a word. Got an itchy eye. Okay. Which obviously is Babylonian influenced. I suspect you are Mormon because of your manner of speaking like a BYU apologist. And your typical and their typical counter argument of ad hominem. So again, they don't recognize homonym. And so I always have to check, is it I first or E first? I first. And their typical counter-argument of ad hominem that you displayed in your second comment I deleted. So you need to understand that it is those unsound defenders, and if you don't understand what I mean by unsound defenders, which I capitalized, it's the definition of apologist. Unsound. That's why I put in ad hominem is their typical attack to counter critics, because they can't defend the church's position. And so instead, they defend the church with unsound argument, reasoning, whatever you want to call it. It's not really reasoning if it's unsound. Yeah, that's what apologist means, by definition. And Mormons don't get it. The BYU apologists get it, because they understand that the church is in great jeopardy. And they're standing up to defend it at all costs, even to the destruction of their reputations, as John Gee was humiliated by his professor, where he got his PhD in Egyptology. John Gee chose church over the Egyptological field of study, and his teacher peer-reviewed his work and slammed him for it. Do you understand that, Mormons? So, what is your name again? Cambria? Do you understand that? You're asking for my peer review when the peer reviews, which BYU has created their own exclusive peer review process. They don't really go out to other people. They keep it within BYU so that everybody peer reviews each other. Oh, yes, it's faith promoting. Well, yeah, we agree with it. That's how they do it. Because they cannot get the world's scholars to approve of their work. Because, hold on, I'll show you the book. I've got it. That's how I got the papyri. Alrighty, this is it. Robert K. Rittner. This was John Gee's professor when he was getting his PhD in Egyptology. This is Rittner's peer review of John Gee's work. Per se, he's actually going over the Book of Abraham papyri. But this is his peer review of the Mormons' claims. And he thrashes Gee in another paper that he does. And so it's well known that the church has nothing acceptable in society. So for you to come and say, are your works peer-reviewed? That's a little bit misguided in your thinking. It's like the Republicans in the Cohen hearing who kept going after him. You lied to Congress before. Never mind that the lies were protecting Trump. And so they were then saying, we can't trust you now. I think you're lying about going against Trump. So that's what you're doing, Cambria. You're pulling the Republican move on me. And of course you're Republican, aren't you? That's how you know about this. And so, yeah. I'm expecting to delete Cambria as I deleted her comment, her second comment. And so, yeah, Mormons, you don't get it. Even though Robert K. or Rittner came out with his peer review, he's right, but not completely right. It's like a lawyer. Whether prosecution or defense, they're purposely leaving out information in order to protect their position. If it's prosecution, they leave out information that would exculpate, whatever the word is, the defendant. And likewise, the defense, if there's evidence that proves they're guilty, we're not going to mention this. That's what Egyptologists are doing. They are not putting the signs from the glyphs in the sign list. They're not there. I looked. They're not there. And thus, you know, Egyptologists know the signs have meaning. And they're not translating the glyph signs. And that's what I figured out. I am a pioneer in the field because they didn't do their job. They're purposely covering it up, or they just don't know how to do it. They don't know how to translate it. They only know the text because of the Rosetta Stone. So I really don't care if people peer review my work. All they're going to be is a second-hand accounting. Nobody should trust them. You know, if they even approve of my work, this is great work. Okay, whatever. Thanks for the support. It means nothing. People need to go to the primary sources. Always. Cambria. Okay, so do I need to finish up my sentence here, or do I have everything necessary, or at least, obviously I didn't put everything that I'm talking about here in, and I've got to go for my run now, or at least test the pavement to see if it's safe. Alright, so yeah, here I am. I suspect you are Mormon because of your manner of speaking like a BYU apologist and their typical counter-argument of ad hominem that you displayed in your second comment. I deleted. So you need to understand that it is those unsound defenders who follow this practice and have written the gospel topic essay on the Book of Abraham to declare on behalf of the Church of the LDS Church that Joseph Smith is not a translator and made it all up. Is that really how you want to tell others about Joseph Smith? Yeah, we'll end it here. I expect her to respond because Mormons get offended when people call them out. This is my channel. She came and attacked me on my channel, and yet she's going to continue to attack in order to defend her position. She does not get it. You can't do that. You can't attack a person and she'll say, oh, you just can't handle criticism. Criticism is not unsound argument. That's not criticism. Criticism is sound argument. Sound argument. An ad hominem is not sound argument. It's not criticism. That's abuse, verbal abuse. And that needs to stop. That's not a defense of your position. That is proof that you have no position. Just like Republicans for Trump. They have no position. Trump needs to go. They need to get a backbone and stand up against Trump and do as their oath of office requires. Okay. Replied. And that was just the first one. Okay, so there was the abusive one. You seem patronizing. Seem. See there? She's putting in her feelings, projecting on me, hoping that I will then get upset myself, which is what she's going to do in her reply to my reply. So she thinks she's being clever and she's got me in a trap. No, she doesn't. She's using unsound argument. She automatically loses the argument. And then she says, I have listened to some of your videos. Oh, isn't that great? You've demonstrated that you've put out an effort to try to understand. I have a token black friend, therefore I'm not racist. And you seem See, she's again projecting but here's the trap. And she's saying, but she puts in the buttocks rather than the butt. And though you may be, but, as in the gluteus maximus, but hurt that more people don't pay you the attention you feel. There's the feelings you deserve. See, that's the one slam that everybody does, especially in psychiatry. Psychiatrists always go and try to tell other people that when you're talking to somebody, you affirm their comments. Is that the word? Validate other people's comments, because that makes them feel. That's not an argumentative position. That's not sound. And so then it says, it makes it hard for me to take you seriously. There's the abusive slam that I would like to. So she's trying to say, oh, I would really like to listen to you, but she doesn't really actually come out with an example. It's just a generalized accusation. And that's an attempt to try to silence me, to change my manner of presentation. You can't do that, Cambria and anybody else. I've gone over this over and over. So you missed that video, didn't you? So your small sampling of my work, ooh, another is causing many problems here. So don't come onto my channel thinking you're going to outsmart me and confound me. It will not work. You automatically lose because you're going from an unsound position. And remember the primary song, the wise man built his house upon a rock, not upon sand. Apologists build their foundational arguments on sand. It doesn't work. And 13 million Mormons agree. It doesn't work. Okay. LDS Mormon Church, third person, Byron of Calgary. Byron of Calgary. Okay, a Canadian. Oh, I recognize the picture, but I don't recognize the name with the picture. Maybe I just don't remember. It's been a long time then. Wowzer, Missouri is the cradle of civilization, right by the Euphrates, the real Euphrates River. Noah drifted to the real Mount Ararat. That's why there was no elephants or lions in America. Noah took them, and 4,000 years later, the Jaredites and their floating latrines brought them all back. I hope he's understanding that he knows that I'm not pro-Mormon, Bergamite Mormon. I hope he understands this. And so I hope he's not trying to criticize me. But again, it seems like he's just going off of the title and responding to the title. But that's how I get people's attention. Have you not caught on? You have to title it so that you'll get your target audience, because your target audience types in certain things to search for. And if you don't title it right, you're not going to get your desired audience. But that worked. That's why, because my target audience has an interest in these words. LDS Mormon Church, Ancient Records, Adam-on-Diamond, Missouri. Those are what a good number of people that come to my site, my videos, are interested in. So Byron of Calgary, I hope you're just joking. and not attacking me. Okay, so I think I need to reply if this is the last one and delete the notifications here. Apparently not, or somebody else got added. Okay, so we can delete this and archive that. Yeah, we have another one here. One more. Alrighty. So Christina Austell, my home teacher does visit me every other month. So what? Again, that's the token black person, therefore you're not racist thing. Just because your home teacher visits you every other month, unless that's what you're trying to point out, is that they've now expanded the time between visits. But I'm not so sure. But this is the same point, Mormons. You can't point to one example and therefore prove that everybody's in the same boat and that the church is true, or that the church isn't racist, the church isn't sexist, you know, the whole ERA thing. Just because one woman is put in a, you know, Sherry Dew, for example, she was made Relief Society president, therefore the church is not sexist. She was put as CEO of Deseret Book, therefore the church isn't racist or sexist. It doesn't hold as an argument. And that's what the Democratic Congresswoman pointed out to Meadows, Senator or Congressman Meadows, is that his name? In that hearing. He tried to pull the stunt of Trump has one employee who's black. Therefore, Trump isn't racist. He is racist because he only has one. So it's the same thing, guys. And I don't think I talked about home teaching in this video. Maybe I did in a side note. but that's not the point of this video, Christina. Mormons are so frustrating. Learn some logic. You can Google it. Logical argument. List of logical even list of fallacies, so that you can learn what not to say. And you can recognize, oops, I've been doing that. I better stop. Because you shouldn't be going to a list of fallacies and saying, oh, I can use this tactic now. That's the wrong way to obtain wisdom. That's the way to become evil. You know, the Book of Mormon was meant for you to follow the good examples, not the bad examples, Mormons. You're following the bad examples in the Book of Mormon. You are likening the scriptures of the bad examples unto you. You can't do that. And of course now I'm only talking to MD, and you're converted already. So none of the Mormons who need to hear this are hearing it. But yeah, as you can tell, I've got many videos left to do. So I can keep on going with this, Mormons. Unbelievable. Okay. Now I'm all riled up. All right, an hour and 14 minutes, and it's 10 minutes after 4, so I'm falling behind if I'm able to run. If I'm not able to run, then I'll be back. But it might take some time for this to upload and stuff. But, ooh, maybe I can do the ERA video. Okay, hold on.